As Manchester City's side scrape through to the knockout stages for Club Brugge, they join them as well. Nervy moments for them. Literally, the squad was looking at phones right up until the full-time whistle of the Dinamo Zagreb game. But in the end, Club Brugge go through on goal difference, as does Manchester City. And the way the table works and the way the draw will work, Manchester City in the next round will face either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. Let's welcome in, shall we? Aage Fjortoft joins us. We'll be hearing from Jan in a moment. For Manchester City, this was far from easy, but they got it done in the end.
We're doing 18 highlights.
Yes, we are, sir.
Don't think we've got time to waffle about this game, to be honest. No, I mean, it never is easy. I mean, if Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, if they continue to defend and be as open as the way they were again today, they're going to be big underdogs in those two games. Now, we would not have said that 6 months ago. We would not. No. But Club Brugge today, who are decent, I think they're second in the Belgian league, but they caused City, again, a lot of problems. I mean, I know he's not a right back, and it's difficult, but just silly little things. Mateus Nunes can see Bernardo Silva coming back. So even if you're not a defender, you know, like, I just got to hold this guy up. I don't need to dive in. I just need to hold this guy up till I get help, which he was going to get. He dives in, they lose a goal. They're chasing the game again. I suppose from the plus side, they look more of a threat going forward than they have in recent games, or certainly some of them. But defensively and in the middle of the park, there's a lot of holes that on another day, Club Brugge could have had easily at the Etihad, easily 3 or 4 goals.
There was that vulnerability there that we've seen all season from City. Steve, I suppose the difference this time compared to what we saw over the last few months is that they managed to get over the line.
Yeah, they did, but you can't see how they can go far in this. I mean, it's just basic errors. Basic errors defensively, basic errors in the middle of the park, giving the ball away. And then, particularly on the counter, they just don't look as though they know what they're doing defensively from the middle and the back. And yes, they did get it done, but a lot of it, you could say, was down to Brugge as well. Brugge had 2 or 3 occasions, which we just saw in the highlights, where with a better decision, a better pass, or a better final attempt, this could have been way different. They've gotten away with it, really.
Absolutely right. If they were more clinical in the final third with those 2 big chances that we saw, Rally, you could just feel the City fans would have been very, very stressed.
Right. So what we have to say is that it doesn't matter whether it's Club Brugge or whoever else they play. If you play against Manchester City this season, you're going to get opportunities. And so the question becomes, can you take advantage of those opportunities? The stress levels and anxiety level for Manchester City are extremely high. And in the stadium, extremely high. You can sense it, that there is an anxiety to this team and a stress level that shows you and makes it very clear that they're not sure if indeed they're going to win games like the one today. It wasn't a certainty, and it didn't feel like uncertainty. Now, what we have to say about Manchester City is that in the second half, and give credit to Pep Guardiola in making the changes that he made, we saw things from Manchester City that we don't often see this season. Mateo Kovacic running with the ball, actually vertical running with the ball, getting away from defenders, creating separation through the dribble, and so finishing the goal. What about runs in behind? Savinho a couple of times, runs in behind. The third goal is a run in behind. Bardiol running in behind and ends up in the own goal. Those are things that Manchester City don't do all that often. And in fact, they started creating chances when they did something that apparently is very difficult for them to do. Swinging balls in. John Stones has a chance because of a cross that goes into the box. I don't understand why this team has to be down 1-0 to take this sort of approach in which they can actually take advantage of the skilled players that they have in the attack, regardless of what they do defensively, because they're going to continue to give chances. That's not going to change. But at the very least, give yourself an opportunity to score goals. They did that today in the second half.
OK, just a reminder, the draw is on Friday, and the way in which the draw will work is that, for example, if you finish 9th or 10th, you'll be drawn against the side that finished 23rd or 24th. It's to make the bracket fair throughout. And what it's given us, I tell you what, is brilliant. Look at that. In Manchester City or Celtic to face Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. This is exactly what UEFA would have wanted. A big boy showdown in the round of 16, Jan.
Yeah, and I must say, I love the new format. I mean, we were all sitting there today. I tried to follow every detail, but ending up being a fan, switching from goal show to live games. I think this is fantastic. I'm not 100% with Stevie in terms of how far City can go. If they should be lucky and play Bayern Munich, I think that they got a chance, because Bayern have shown this season in the Bundesliga they are steady Eddie, but I'm not sure about their form in the Champions League. So a Bayern City kind of game will be very interesting. But as you are saying, when you saw in the first half today, when Bruges came with 4, 5, 6 players, and Manchester City couldn't track back. And we can do all the analysis in the world, but if you don't have the legs to take counters, to kind of prevent counter-attacks, and when it was 1-0 for Bruges, we thought, well, that was deservedly. But don't underestimate City. I think they had a terrible start, or they have a terrible stage now in the Champions League, but I give them a chance against Bayern. I'm not giving them a chance against Real Madrid. Imagine when Real Madrid come on counter-attacks. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, of course, the good news for Manchester City is that they'll have the likes of Mamouche available. Kushnerov as well, of course, couldn't play in this round of the Champions League.
Kushnerov available.
Well, no, that's very true. Okay. But Mamouche will be there as well. And it's interesting, you'd think, Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, considering Manchester City have done this season, but both of them have shown vulnerability. Real Madrid have struggled against big names. Bayern Munich lost to Aston Villa, of course. It's going to make it interesting for this next game.
It is interesting. I mean, maybe not from Celtic's point of view and that draw, but, getting one of those bigger boys. But, yeah, it does. But I just think that City are the most vulnerable out of those. If we're sort of leaving Celtic to the side at the moment, we'll talk about City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. We've done a lot of, every weekend, La Liga. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atleti. Ali sees Bayern a lot in the Bundesliga, but City's vulnerability has been... I mean, none of those sides have gone and, they lost something like 8 games or something. Yeah. But none of as bad as Real Madrid have been in certain games, Bayern Munich as well, they have not gone on a bad run, anything like what City have gone on. Now, on the day, of course, they can score goals, they can hurt you, but when have we seen a game recently that Manchester City haven't given up a host of chances? They should have been 2-0 down in the game they won against Chelsea. They actually played very well in the end, but should have been 2-0 down in 20 minutes. So there's still questions about Bayern at the back, the Upamecano and Kim. They're better than they were last year, but I don't think they're good enough to go all the way and win this Champions League with that defence. But I think City are the most vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting we're talking, but let's not forget Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are both top of their respective tables, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Bayern Munich and Real Madrid at times have looked the type of side that we think they should be. Manchester City, on the other hand, have at no stage since they fell off the cliff, until the final whistle goes and they've actually won, nobody, including the players, the fans and us, can trust that Man City, regardless of how many they're ahead, will actually end up winning a game. That's the biggest difference.
Go on, Jan.
No, it's a very good point. Even at 3-1 today, you saw they were thinking, wow, Feyenoord, remember when we played Feyenoord here? Oh, remember when we were 2-0 up as PSG? So there is this lack of, and Al was alluding to, is this insecurity in the team. Having said that, I think that City will get better because there are some signals now. There's just some showings that they are getting better going forward. And they have enough players, and now also with Mamouche, that they will score more goals than they let in, which is a quite good habit to have for any team. So I don't think City will win the Champions League, not at all. But I still think they've got a chance to take another step, although they are not where they want to be. And I think we talked a lot about that. Well, you can see that in the team. There are players now who is not up for it and is not up for the way that they have to struggle now when they are struggling with their basic things with what Pep wants them to do.